And here we are with the Detroit Lions news, and we have our co-host. It's just myself, Darcy Maville, the real deal Maville.
He keeps playing like that and forcing all these turnovers. I think he could maybe get his name in the conversation for defensive rookie of the year. I don't think that's crazy to say.
Joseph's really been great. 10 tackles, 2 interceptions.
At the end of the day, he escaped with a win, and you got to be happy about that.
Detroit Lions, the victory yesterday over Chicago.
You got to minimize the big plays, and I think we did that today.
New show. The 5th edition on this day of December 4th. What a great show. Can you guys hear that?
Yeah, who's got the baby?
Who's got a baby crying?
Oh, it's not crying.
Well, it's
Anyway.
saying something.
It must be a pussy.
She's babbling. I can't stop a baby. I'm sorry.
And we
That's
have
what you get for being a grandpa.
Yeah. We have a very, very, very special guest here, former Lion, Jeff Chadwick. Hi, Jeff. How are you doing today?
Doing good,
Blow 'em
guys.
up.
Doing good.
Blow him up, Mike. Blow him up. Anyways, what a mollywop. Today was an awesome game. What do you guys think about that? Let's introduce everybody first. Let's have Jeremy B. and Will, and then we'll go around West, and then Jeff, you tell us about yourself too.
Well, I'm Smoking Jeremy B. I've been podcasting for 2 years now with my own podcast that I started back in January. I also am now a published editorialist writing about our Detroit Lions with the Motor City Tribune, which is owned by the South Florida Tribune. I also a guest on many shows and a co-host for Darcy on this show.
Now this next guy here, his name's Will, but you got it, and he swears it's his real name. Will, introduce yourself.
Hey guys, my name is Will Rock. Yes, Rock is my real name. So I'm new to the podcasting and joining on the live shows. I'm a business owner, and I'm interested in learning more about this and having some fun with these guys here. Definitely a Lion fan for the last 35 years of my life, season ticket holder. So thanks for having me on, guys.
Absolutely, yep. Wes?
Yeah, I've been a Lions fan since I was born, basically. I'm 64 years old, and I've been watching them lose for a long time. They won the championship the year before I was born, so I haven't seen them, I've seen them win one playoff game in a lifetime, so this is great to see. We're finally turning it around.
And our special guest, Jeff Chadwick.
Hi, fellas. My name is Jeff Chadwick, former NFL wide receiver. Went to Grand Valley State outside of Grand Rapids. Walked on with the Detroit Lions in 1983 as a free agent. Was fortunate enough to be able to play for my home team, as I was from Dearborn, and watched the Lions since I was a kid. So I was a big Lions fan as well. Got to play 6 years for the Lions, and then went on to Seattle, where I played 3 years, and finished up with the Rams in 1992.
Nice. So, Dan, it was kind of up in the air what we were going to discuss and the topics and everything, but man, wasn't that just the greatest Lions game I've ever witnessed? The total domination. Guys, this is a live interactive show, so please have your comments for whoever you want.
Yep.
This is going to be great. Any comments
Step
now?
out for a minute.
We'll start
Yeah,
with
we've got a few coming in. Killer Cook said, JB, and I hate to admit it, but Goff played very well today, man. Dwayne Keene, great game on both sides of the ball. DC8091 comes in and says, howdy, man. Big Cheese Smalls, Lions fans only come out when they win a game. John Robinson says, Chadwick had great hands. Time for COD, JB. I'll talk to you later, man. Have an outstanding stream. Lions look good today. Prediction: we beat Minnesota next week.
Yep.
DC 8091 says, "Hell yeah, Jeff Chadwick! I loved watching you play, man." And Brian Host Ramirez, if Goff continues to play like this, well, let's stay with him. I have been on that train the entire time about Goff. He's not great. He's not bad. He's not going to win you games. He's not going to lose you games. He's an average quarterback that plays as well as the team around him.
Well, do you have anything on Jared Goff?
Yeah, so I mean, I can agree with Jeremy there that Goff is a game manager. He's exactly right. He's not going to lose us games. He's not going to win us games. But what he's going to do is he's going to keep us in the games. When you look at Goff's history with the Lions, he's just now getting to a point where he's having enough of weapons around him to be able to produce. Unfortunately, he didn't have a good rapport with Hawkinson. It didn't seem like they really gelled a whole lot the last 18 months or 2 years. But he's got rapport with Brown, and I'm hoping that he's going to build it quickly with Williams and hopefully see the lightning strike here in Detroit. And we really move forward down the field like we have been the last 5 weeks.
Right on. Wes?
Yeah, all along I've said I don't know if Goff is the answer or not, but he's definitely good enough for this year and next year, and it's up to him if he stays longer than that. But if he plays like he did today, he might be the answer.
And with our special guest, Jeff Chadwick, your thoughts of being a professional. What are your thoughts on Jared Goff?
Let's keep in mind they were playing the Jaguars today. All right, they were underdogs at home, which I felt like that shouldn't have been the case. I think the Lions have been playing great ever since they got rid of their secondary coach and allowed these guys the freedom to just get out there and play ball. And I think that's what it's all about. The defense is playing well. I think they're all playing together as a team, which is probably the most important of all. I think Goff is doing what he's capable of doing, spreading the ball around. I think he throws a great ball. I think he's accurate. I think with Goff, it's just a matter of, comfort and, having the protection. And, that's the guys up front. The most important guys, I think, are the guys up front. So he's got that protection right now. Hopefully these guys stay healthy. And, I honestly think that they're a playoff team right now. Whether they get into the playoffs, well, I think they're going to have to win out. Okay. I was part of a team that was 1-4 back in '83. And we finished the year 9-7 and made it to the playoffs. We lost in the playoffs against San Francisco just by a couple of points, but they're good enough to be there.
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm going to answer, and then now we're going to go for some questions there, Jeremy. 31 first downs, guys. 8 for 12 on third downs. I'm telling you, we got, David Pike was right. We got a pretty good quarterback. I think he can take us to the Super Bowl. We're building from the inside out. He makes the right decisions. He's getting more acclimated with his receivers. Once JMO comes along, he only got 3-4 snaps. I think
3 or 4 snaps. They only targeted him once. Yeah.
He'll get more acclimated, and as he gets more comfortable with the receiver group and Jared Goff. That was a big tie between the New York Giants and the Commanders today. That was the best situation that could ever happen. Talk about it, Jeremy. Keep the questions coming, guys.
Okay, Scott Herman gave us 3 thumbs up. Jeff Barchart, excuse me. Congratulations on your season so far. You guys deserve it. Dwayne Keene asked, what you all think? Should we re-sign Jamal Williams or not? I think we should. He's been awesome. What do you guys think about what he just said right there?
Who wants to go first?
We'll go for the same thing again.
Go right around the room here.
Yep.
So Williams is a must sign. Who knows what he's going to ask for contractually wise, but if we get him on a 2 to 3 year deal, which he might do, I think the Lions have to bring him back. You got Swift that is unrestricted free agent in 2024. He's injury prone. I mean, Williams has been the only one that's been able to get through and pound the line and get it into the end zone about 14 times this year. you have to bring him back. That doesn't mean we don't target a running back in the next draft, but Williams has to be a mainstay moving forward.
Am I up next?
Wes.
Okay. Yeah, I think we're definitely going to try to re-sign him as long as he doesn't want anything ridiculous like, $10 million a year. You just can't spend that kind of money in a running back anymore. But I think we can give him 2 years, $6-7 million a year. He'll take that. Maybe give him a little signing bonus on top of that, and he might sign. I mean, he's 28 now. So, I mean, you don't want to commit big long-term money to a running back when he's that old, but he's like the spirit of the team. Like the teammates all love him. Like, so they got to try to re-sign him. They will try, but like I said, as long as he doesn't want too much money.
Okay. I agree. I mean, I agree with what you guys are saying. If he could sign a 2-year deal, having 2 solid backs is pretty much a must. I mean, it's kind of like, having healthy receivers. If you've got 1 or 2, it's not enough, but if you've got 2 solid running backs, they can share some time. They know they're going to get the ball. They're going to be a part of the offense. He's a must. It'd be great to have him. I just don't know if, with free agency, a lot of times these guys, they go after the money. And unfortunately, a lot of times they make mistakes by going after the money. I think it's really about what makes them happy is not the money. It shouldn't be. It should be about where you're getting the chance to play and perform. And he's got a home here in Detroit. I hope he realizes that.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to piggyback off that. How many? He still has 13. Did he score a touchdown today?
Yeah, he had 1 today.
Yes.
He had 1. He's got 14.
So he's at 14. He's leading all rushers in the NFL with 14 touchdowns. I do believe. I didn't watch any of the games today other than the Lions. He's cheap. He's reliable. He's great in the locker room. He's great with the fans. Sign him for another couple. I think you jump all over that. Jeremy, comments?
I agree. I also agree with as long as he doesn't ask for more than $10 million a year. If it's $10 million or less, I say go ahead and sign him for a couple years. But if it's anything more than that, you can get cheaper in the draft and with the same style of player. I mean, there are about 5-6 guys in this draft that are that style of player that can block as well as run and have a nose for the end zone. Eric Gray of Oklahoma is one, which he also receives a little better out of the backfield than what Jamal Williams does. There's a couple more like Rashawn Johnson out of Texas, who isn't as much of a receiver, but he's a big, powerful back that can block. And then there's the other guy, Brendan Cook, will comment him in a minute. But he is a team leader. I think he may give us the discount to stay. The next comment was Brian Hart Ramirez says the play calling was really good as well. DC 8091, damn right we're a playoff team. Get there or not, we're as tough as any team in the league. Facebook user says, I think we should keep Goff and build our defense in the draft. What do you think? Let's go around the room with that. You want to start us off, Darcy?
No, we'll just keep going, Will, and I'll finish and give it off to you.
So definitely building the defense is key. I want to say one more thing about Williams, if you don't mind. So there's a couple things you can't teach. One is speed, and the other one is leadership. If we were to lose Williams, we'd lose a lot of leadership. So losing him off of our team is going to create a big hole for this team to continue to move forward. Last thing I'll say, he doesn't want to play or run behind the offensive line that we have right now. They're opening up holes for any freight train's going to drive through it. But to piggyback here off of this Facebook user's question, defense is number 1 in the next draft. I watched Aleem McNeil today chase the quarterback around, and he is slow. So if we need to get some defensive push up the middle, I think that's where we start.
Okay, I'll comment on that now. I definitely agree we should build the defense first. I really like to see us get a crack at Jalen Carter with our first pick, if he's still there. If not, Will Anderson would be okay too. If we pick third, which we may, because the Rams are still loose. Well, actually, the Rams just took the lead now, but Seattle's got the ball. But I mean, if we pick third, a quarterback's probably going first and second, or first anyways. If the Bears pick second, they'll probably take Will Anderson. I think the Alabama quarterback goes first. I do not want the Ohio State quarterback. So I'd definitely go defense. I'd probably go Jalen Carter, defensive tackle, with our first pick, if he's still there, for sure.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know what you guys know. You guys are so into it as far as knowing these college players and where they should go in the draft. I just look at where are our needs as far as defense. I agree that defense is the way to go. I mean, defense really was thorn in the heel for the first, half the season. Until they got rid of the secondary coach and freed up those defensive backs to just go out there and play some ball. But my feeling is I think we need another linebacker. And I think we need some help in the secondary as well. That's just my perspective. I think you guys probably got a little more knowledge about that than I do, but that's where I say I think we need somebody. I think we need a middle linebacker. I know you might get some flack there, but I like what we have, but I think we need to solidify that position.
You'll get no flack with me. I don't like one of our middle linebackers,
Oh,
even
let
though
me
he's
talk about
playing
him.
better than he did last year. But yeah.
The golden boy, he played very well. The long-haired Anzalone, man.
You know what? He's okay
he
for a
looks like
third
a
linebacker,
line.
like a backup, though. I mean, if he resigns with us cheap, I'd keep him just for a backup.
And Barnes plays. He's really good at
That's what
knifing
I
in.
mean.
He knifes in. and he
Barnes,
shoots the gap.
Rodriguez, you draft a guy, and then we keep Anzalone too. We got a good core of linebackers then,
We need the depth for sure, and then we need some more. We need another edge rusher. I'm sorry, Romeo. I don't think he's ever going to come back from that Achilles. It's so hard for a big man like that to come back. But
we're going to find out the next 5 games, right?
Yeah.
He's going to get a crack.
He was a healthy.
So if you're looking at a top 5 pick, and everyone's looking at picking defense, and if Will Anderson's off the board before 3, let's say the Lions pick 4 or 5, Jalen Carter could be gone. So
right now
there's more
the
edge
Rams
rushers
pick is
too out
third.
there. Yeah,
There's
we
that
might pick
Tyree Rucker, is it? He's another good one.
There's another guy named Murphy too. That's good. He's up in the top 10.
Miles Murphy out of Clemson. He's in the top 10.
There's probably 5 edge rushers in the first round.
But
he's a tackle, Brees.
I'm looking at it from a position of need versus, who's the best in their category, who's the best in their position.
Wow.
So if Anderson and Carter were gone and we wanted to go for a linebacker, Trenton Simpson picking at 5 is way too high. It's a reach.
Yeah.
So do you trade back, gain some capital, and continue to build?
I think Brad Holmes has proven he'll never pick a linebacker in the first round. I think he's going to wait till the second round probably.
No,
unless the guy's an absolute.
Which will put us in play for probably like.
It'll have to be a rush linebacker, like an edge player he'd take in the first round, I think. But for an off-ball linebacker, he's going to wait to the second round or later, I think. But yeah, there's a lot of D ends and D tackles that are good this year. We're going to get one of them.
See what a G. Yeah. See what happens.
All right, and we got a few comments
have
to
a
get
competent
to.
GM.
Yeah. Oh, he's very competent. He knows more than all of us put together. That's for sure.
Well, Holmes is on fire. That's for sure.
Yeah.
He's doing amazing.
DC8091 says, "Hell yeah, re-sign Swaggy." He goes, "Let's hear it. Our number 1." Oh gosh, I'm having a hard time because of bouncing. Had Swaggy's been our number 1, and he's outplayed Swift for 2 years. Justin Jackson is our secret weapon. Hell yeah, John. Action Jackson rules. And I say 5 on defense, 3 on offense, which is where I've been, but I think we might have 9 picks if you add in comp picks. But
that depends who we sign as a free agent too. We might not get any comp picks, but
Porter Jr. or trade back down. I wouldn't take Porter Jr. in the top 5. That's a cornerback. I would wait.
No.
He should be available with that middle pick probably.
Yeah, we got to remember too, free agency is before the draft, so we'll know a lot more about what we're going to pick once we see who we sign and re-sign and et cetera before the draft. But
I got to step away for a quick second to pay my phone bill, and I'll be right back, gentlemen.
All right. Oh, four is nice. Okay, let's talk about the Minnesota Vikings. They had a tough game, but they won. against those New York Jets. What are you guys thinking about this matchup here next Sunday at Ford Field?
Well, we beat them last year at Ford Field. Let's see what happens. Minnesota didn't look that great against the Jets today. They were lucky. The Jets got stopped at like the 1 yard line at the end of that game, or the Jets would have won.
I didn't get a chance to watch the game or catch any of the highlights from today's game, but when we played the Vikings already this year, we played them tight, we played them strong, and we're getting better. We're leagues above where we were in the beginning of the year. There's no reason why we should lose this game. We're healthy and we're clicking. Lions win next week.
Yeah, the Jets had 2 cracks from the 1 yard line with less than a minute to go, and they couldn't get it in, and Minnesota took over on downs.
They don't have Williams running the ball.
Exactly.
We do.
I didn't think Minnesota's defensive line was that good, but I guess they did it against the Bills, so they did it again, eh?
No, it's against the Jets. The Jets' top running back's out too. That with a rookie, a guy they drafted, he was really good, but he was out.
Right on.
I think the Lions are going to be favored next week.
I don't know about that, but it'll be close. Maybe Vikings by 3. We'll see.
At some point, the Lions are going to be given some points.
The Vikings are like 10-2. I think they'll be favored, but I know it's not in Detroit. But I think the Vikings will be favored, but not by a lot. Maybe 3.5. It's my guess. I don't know. We'll see what the odds makers say. Nobody knows yet.
I can tell you who's probably going to have them favored. He had them favored today, and that's Mr. Sean Payton, the great coach. He had the Lions favored today, and I bet you he backs it up again next week. He's excited about the Lions.
Well, I tell you what, if the odds makers are giving Detroit 6 or 7 points, I'm betting a lot of money on the Lions. I think they keep making, even if they lose, they're going to keep making it within a field goal.
So what do you guys think of the chances of winning the next 5?
Well, I don't think we have to win them all. We could probably lose one and still get in. If we go 9-8,
you think so?
Remember, we have the tiebreaker with the Giants and Washington because we beat them both.
Right.
So if we're 9-8, they're 9-8, we go. So Seattle might lose. They're losing right now. Seattle will be 6-6 if they lose right now. So we have to finish ahead of 2 of those 4 teams. Okay, so because Dallas is going to get the first wild card, and then 2 more teams. So
you think Dallas?
We're not out of it, but we can't.
What
lose.
about the Eagles? The Eagles are what?
The Eagles got to Division 1 already. They got it wrapped up, and the Cowboys are going to be second to the Eagles probably and get the first wild card. But there's 3 wild cards. Yeah. So there's 2 more wild cards. It's going to either be the Giants, Washington, Seattle, or Detroit. Those are the next 4 teams. So 2 out of those 4 will make it, and 2 won't.
Well,
so like Packers, I said, we could end up tied with the Giants and or Washington, and we would get the nod because we beat them both. But now we probably won't end up tied with them because of that tie today. Because of that tie today, we could beat them outright.
That's going to be a huge game in Lambeau Field for the last game of this season. It could be.
It could be. We could.
I was just going to ask, where do the Packers come into play on this? Because they won.
They'd have to win out, and they'd still be behind us if we won 5 out of 6 because we beat them.
It's true.
But if they won out, we'd split with them. So that's a long ways off. That's like 5 games away. So
5 weeks. Yeah.
Well, I'll say this about the remaining schedule. There's not one team that we're going up against in the next 5 weeks that is not a winnable game. May not all be easy, but every single game is winnable.
Absolutely. I agree with that 100%.
We have to stay healthy. Williams has to stay running the ball the way that he is, and it'd be nice to see the other Williams catch a few passes for us as well. We'll see what happens, but this defense is starting to click, and it's exciting to watch. When they can back up the offense like they have been the last 5 weeks, it changes and tips the score a little bit to our favor. And we need those plays. We need the fumbles. We need the interceptions to keep rolling.
This is the healthiest I've ever seen this team. We had, 2 guys on the report?
Yeah, that's amazing.
I've never seen that before.
In a few years, it's been a few years since I've seen us that healthy.
It's amazing. What do you think, Jeff? Let's listen to an ex-NFLer that played for 9 years. Blow him up there, Mike, or I can blow him up.
I'm thinking about Jameson Williams. Okay. I've been wanting to see him play. He got in a few plays today. I know they want to bring him in slowly. I don't know that this is the time to really be putting a lot of emphasis on him. With the way Goff is spreading the ball around, I think it's good that they're just getting him in there, a few plays here and there. Maybe get him a few more plays next week. But as far as having him be a real impact, somebody that, they're targeting 5 to 7 times a game, I don't think you're going to see that unless they make it into the playoffs and he's really proven himself as far as being reliable for Goff to consider. Does that make any sense?
100%.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Simply
Absolutely.
because he didn't go through training camp. I know he's been practicing a little bit, but game and practice are two different things. Okay. All the work's done in practice, but you have to have a lot of faith and trust in your receivers as a quarterback. And this is not the time at this particular point for Goff to give him a lot of consideration just because of where he was drafted or his potential. Okay. I think you bring him in and see what he does and give him a few opportunities, but don't overload it and change what he's doing right now. Goff is focused. Goff is on fire. This guy is reading the defense. He's calm back there. He feels really comfortable. You don't want to disrupt this at this particular point, I don't think.
I don't mean to interrupt, but Seattle just got a touchdown and took the lead back over the Rams. 27-23 with like 30 seconds left. So our draft pick's looking better. We're back to the 3rd pick overall again.
I couldn't agree more with what Mr. Chadwick just said. You bring in somebody like Williams that, I would love to see him catch a few passes, but you disrupt Goff's mentality right now and his focus. Does that derail the team? Does that derail the offense? If you shift the focus even a minute amount, I agree more.
You work him in slowly. He needs a lot more practice with them.
I think they need to have some actual game film on him before he's to really consider. He's got to prove that he can get open consistently, okay, against talented corners or safeties, right? That he knows what he's doing. Where Goff's got to know that they're on the same page.
Exactly.
Okay, so when he's running an in route or a post route or crossing route, where he's got a choice of reading, is it man? Do I continue? Do I break it down? He's got to feel so comfortable that he knows that he can count on him. And until that happens, and that the only way to really know is by getting some time.
Yeah, practice reps for sure. He's never thrown to him till this week. Like they don't even know each other. I mean, you're right, 100%.
The one good thing we have in Williams.
I think what they're doing is the right thing. Bring him in slowly, get him some opportunities. Keep in mind, this guy had no experience at this level as of today, right? His first opportunity. Just because he was highly ranked and he was a number 1 pick doesn't mean a whole lot when it comes to this level of playing. He's going to be great. I think they made a great decision in picking him. But as far as getting him involved, it's going to take some time. I think it's just one of those things that you just kind of watch and you see how it develops. You give him a few opportunities. And I think he can get out there and make some plays for you. But keep in mind, he is a rookie. And that rookie year is a real tough one to break through. And it's not to say he can't do it. I think he will do it. But I think it's going to be towards the end of the season. And if we make it into the playoffs, that you'll see him get more targets.
Good take.
For right now, he's a wonderful decoy.
Absolutely. Sure. They got to have a safety on him all the time to make sure he doesn't get past them. Yeah.
Absolutely.
But hey, if you guys noticed, he ran a route and he had an opportunity to catch the ball, but he got forced too close to the sideline. That was on him. Okay. A guy that's been out there doing it for a while, chances are that wouldn't have happened to him. He'd have made sure he gave himself a couple of yards, right?
Yep.
But that's a rookie mistake. That's inexperience. You don't let that happen in the game when you're in there playing a lot. But that's what's going to happen, and that's why you take it real slow with a guy like that.
And I think the guy covering him was a lot bigger than him too, and he sort of had his way with him pushing him out. He has to put a few pounds on too, I think.
Keep in mind, last year it took 10 games. Okay, keep in mind the first 10 games of Amon-Ra St. Brown, he was kind of irrelevant.
Lost, yeah.
It takes a little bit, guys.
It takes a half a season,
we got some
probably,
comments there.
Yep, we got a comment. Where are we at as far as comments? Where'd you leave off at?
I didn't do any comments.
Okay.
This is a defense question.
I think Brian.
Okay. We need to be ready, play hard, stay focused, and have fun on both sides, and we have a chance to get it. Let's go, Detroit Lions pride. Dwayne Keene also says our defense has been playing better since they fired that coach, I think. And he's absolutely right. Since we fired Aubrey Pleasant, who wasn't just our defensive backs coach, guys, he was our defensive passing game coordinator, which means he drew up every play for the defense on what they were facing in the passing game. And it made them look horrible because as soon as he was gone, they started playing better, and then we had a 3-game win streak.
Seahawks won. They just intercepted it. Game's over. So the Rams
Seahawks
lost
won?
again.
That could be the number 2 pick now.
Well, the Bears lost today too.
Oh,
so
that's right.
The Bears are 3-10. The Rams are 3-9, something like that. I don't know.
Right. Here, I'm going to give a little plug. Here's my plug. Detroit Lions news show. Please subscribe. It's only been up for 3 weeks. I have 50 subscribers. Please subscribe. Jeremy, what's your plug?
Kneecap Biting with Smoking Jeremy B on YouTube. I do my shows on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I am thinking about adding a college draft show now, doing draft prospects, the playoff outlook, and also Heisman frontrunners, which I think Caleb Williams might get it by default because everybody that had a chance to beat him, was either injured or played bad. What do you guys think?
Yeah, he has a chance for sure, but unfortunately, he's not in the draft this year. Or you might have a crack at him too, but he probably won't come out till next year.
Right.
Oh, Jeremy, we were talking about what do you think about the Vikings next week?
The Vikings aren't really putting up a boatload of points. I mean, they only scored as much this week as they did when they beat us back in week 3. So their offense has been kind of sitting stagnant. And Sauce Gardner did a good job, but on the towards the end of the game, gave up his first touchdown since his senior year of high school. And Mike White was more the reason why the Jets lost than the defense was. I mean, he threw 2 picks that gave them a short field, and they were able to convert it over. But 3 catches for 45 yards and a touchdown is not a very Justin Jefferson-esque game. I think we got a chance to beat them because of the way we're playing defense right now.
Yeah, absolutely. We played them tough the first game. We should have beat them. Unfortunately, we blew it in the fourth quarter.
Brian Three Cushion, which is Brian Roy, he says 6 were out today, and hey guys, DC told him howdy. And Ken Bulrick, which is my dad, known as Crazy Ken, says hey guys. And DC 8091, please trade out of that number 2 pick, please.
Yeah, for that one comment there, we only had 2 guys out because of injury. The rest were just scratches. So you can only address 48 guys or 47, whatever it is. So the other
after you add especially after you add the 2 that you're able to activate from the practice squad.
Exactly.
So that's a total of 50 dressed. So you got to scratch some. And Michael Brockers, every time he's out of the lineup, we win. Is that a coincidence?
Well, he hasn't played much in the last month. Yeah,
That's
not a coincidence.
Did Romeo get in today?
No, Romeo.
No, he was a healthy scratch.
He wasn't active. But he's activated. He's on the roster now, but he was inactive for the game.
Okay.
But seriously, all 4 games that we've won out of the last 5 Michael Brockers has been on the sideline as an inactive player. He played on Thanksgiving because of Pascal being out. And lo and behold, we lose. I'm just saying.
And to
I think
be
we
fair,
can
we
call it
can't.
what it is with Brockers. Brockers, he's not going to make it through this offseason. He's done.
He saved $10
Absolutely no
million
way.
by cutting him. There's no way we're re-signing him. He can't even activate him.
He's done.
For sure. But we can't blame all this on Aubrey Pleasant, this winning streak starting after we fired him either. We got a lot of guys back healthy after he got fired too. We got back Jerry Jacobs, and Okuda came back, and Swift came back healthy. There's like 6-7 guys that are playing now that weren't playing when we were losing those games. So there's more than one factor involved in just firing that coach.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I'm just saying it's a weird coincidence.
The curse has been broken with the whiskey in the tub in the end zone with the whiskey with Jeff Daniels.
Yeah, Jeff Daniels and Peyton Manning.
Yep.
I'd like to know Mr. Chadwick's view on this curse.
I don't believe in curses.
Yeah, I want to hear this.
I just know that when they fired that coach, everything changed on that defense. These guys just started going out there and playing ball. It looked like they weren't overthinking. They were just going out there and playing, relaxed, confident, like they've never shown all year. So you can't tell me that it wasn't the coach. He had to have something to do with it because it affected everybody on that defense, not just the secondary, but as an entire group, it was like night and day. So I'm getting a few players here and there. Yeah, a little bit of a difference, but I think there's a reason why that coach got fired mid-season or in the actual.
I agree, Jeff. He was part of the reason, but I'm just saying I'm not blaming it all on him because we did get healthier at that point too. But you're right. We started getting more turnovers after he was gone. I think just the way the defense was playing changed when he left for sure.
It's got to be that because just the way the corners are playing, they're attacking.
More aggressive now. Yeah, they're attacking the ball.
They're not playing scared. It's like they know what they're doing. In pro football, it's you don't have time to think. All the thinking is done prior to the game. You have to just go out there and react. And if these guys are confused on what they're actually supposed to be doing on a given play, they can't have the freedom to just react. And in pro football, that's all the time you have to do is to react. You don't have time to think.
Absolutely.
So would it be far removed to think that maybe Pleasant had a game plan that was maybe too confusing for the players, and when you remove that element of Pleasant out of the game, out of the equation, that now they dumbed it down a little bit to where the players could react, where they didn't have to do as much thinking or weren't thinking pre-play, pre-snap, getting themselves all out of sorts, and then they can't react.
Exactly.
That's what it almost appeared to me, is that they were able to play loose.
Exactly. And that's what you want. You want your whole team to be like that, right? So we saw the ramifications of when you confuse a group of athletes out there. Heck, you only need to really confuse one guy on each play to have the play blow up. It's vital that these guys, that they're all relaxed playing together. And so they're not, basically pointing fingers. Hey, what did you do? Why, you didn't have my back, or I thought we were doing this. They're not doing any of that now. They're just out there playing ball. And then if it's a negative play or positive, on to the next play. You have to have amnesia. On to the next play. You can't dwell on anything. The game doesn't wait for that.
Absolutely.
And we're very disciplined, like one penalty for 10 yards. These guys they're gelling. They're playing good. I love Dan Campbell. I think this coaching staff is amazing. I've been watching this team since Wayne Fonts, since when Jeff was playing for him. I've never seen anything like this in my life as a Lions fan. There's no more SOL anymore. It's gone.
This is the most exciting the Lions have looked since Barry Sanders.
For sure.
Okay.
Since the mid 90s anyways, for sure.
Yeah, they are fun to watch. Okay, anybody wants to talk trash on the Lions, they don't know what they're talking about. These guys are feeling good. They're feeling confident. They're feeling like they can go up against the best in the league. That's how confident they are. And not only that is, I think that they, as a group, they like each other. They like their team. And kudos to Dan Campbell for bringing that about. Because really that's the head coach doing that. And his assistants, right? Bringing all those guys together. And you don't always get that with a team. You know, you've seen teams fall apart because of a couple of guys on a team that can just, they're like poison, right? So
who made a nice comment in the college game the other night was Bennett. When Bennett was asked at the end of the game, how did you get here this year? And he said, there's no names on this team. It's just a bunch of guys. And that's what I see in the Lions right now is you don't have names, right? We've got some players, we got some exciting players, but they're not drawing attention to themselves. They're staying a unit, a cohesive unit. And to back up just a minute ago when we were talking about confusion, early in the season, I don't remember exactly who said it, but they had pointed to you've got one guy on the defense that's trying to direct traffic because everybody's not in the right position. And when you had that much confusion going on, and you've only got one or two guys that knows what's going on from the linebackers back, you could see why they were playing off and out of alignment, and it was causing a lot of drama, if you will, in the backfield. We were getting torched.
Yeah, during that 5-game losing streak, we had a lot of blown coverages. You're right. There were two guys that cover one guy, and they leave a guy wide open. Like in that Minnesota game near the end there. It was unbelievable. It left the guy wide open. Nobody covered him. He just jogged into the end zone.
Hey,
it was because Tracy Walker went out.
Well, we don't know whose fault it was because we don't know what coverage they were supposed to be in, but somebody blew it for sure. Yeah.
Have you noticed that over the last few weeks, Anzalone is playing better?
100%.
Absolutely.
Okay. Why do you think that is? I mean, I can see because he's out there calling the plays, right? He's trying to be the director. He's like the quarterback for the defense. But he's, he looked frustrated and confused himself a few weeks back.
He did.
Okay. And his performance showed that. It was almost like he was like a step late in most cases. Okay. And I'm just looking at this going, this doesn't look good. Okay. Something's not right here. He's looked really good the last 3 weeks for sure. Okay. He's playing relaxed and just out there reacting himself. So to me, it looks like you don't see him all confused trying to give direction to everybody. He's actually maybe, saying a few things and then focusing on the play. And he's finally getting the opportunity to show what he can do because I think the pressure is off him a little bit.
So the players around
I agree with that.
The players around Anzalone, he's finally confident they understand what's going on. Is I get what you're trying to say here. That if you've got the guys around you that are confident in the play and their position and their assignment and what they need to do, and now Anzalone knows that he can trust these guys got it. I can give them the direction, give them the call. I'm going to hone in on my play and where I need to be. And then they just react, and it's fun to watch.
Yeah, for sure. You got to trust the guy beside you. Everyone's got to trust that they're going to do their job, and if the guy beside you is going to do his job. When guys start trying to do the other guy's job, that's when you get blown coverages and things go wrong. But yeah, once everyone does their job and knows their job, there's less confusion. It's a simplified defense, but everyone understands it.
Okay, we got a few comments to address real quick.
Can I say something first? We got about 10 minutes, and then the Motor City Mayhem show is going to be coming on. So let's do it 10 minutes, and then let's go, Jeremy.
All right. Ken Ballrick says it looks like the Chiefs are about to lose.
Yep.
And DC8091 says Pascal and Houston sure look like the duo from, and I want to say probably hell. And then his reply to the whole Jeff Daniels and Peyton Manning curse lifting ritual, Jack Daniels fixes everything. Jared Goff is, I'm sure DC8091 is in here saying how great I am. He actually did have a great game. 31 of 41, over 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, no fumbles. It was a great game.
Yep.
And going and getting on Mayhem. Cheers, everyone. Dwayne Keene says, Dan Campbell and the staff is changing the culture in Detroit. It's awesome, and I'm liking it. Brian Three Cushion said, I like the way that Swift played today and the defense. And agree on Anzalone. Agree. And my dad says, I think Anzalone is the most improved tackler from last year's defense. And he quite possibly could be. But you also have to throw in the fact that Derek Barnes has looked good when Malcolm Regrez was out hurt. Malcolm Regrez is miles ahead of where everybody thought he would be in his progression so far. And it's real nice that Anzalone doesn't have somebody else call plays. And Jamie Collins couldn't do crap.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, let's wrap it up here. Any last words there? We'll start with Will. I want to rock.
Well, first, I just want to thank you guys for allowing me to join you today. It's definitely fun watching. And you know, the Lions have finally sparked some interest in the fans again. The city is surrounding the team. When you go to Detroit on a Monday night versus Chicago, that game, I don't know, it was about 8 years ago, was the most electric game that I've ever been to.
I was there.
And since then, I've seen that happen again this year in that stadium. It's just absolutely, incredible to watch and see how this city surrounds its team with so much love and so much compassion. There's a lot of fans that don't understand what's happening every single play or every single day with this team. And then there's a few that really get it. We're on the right track. I'm excited to see where this team heads in 2023 and beyond. So go Lions, keep pushing. Holmes and Campbell, they've got a great thing going right now. They got the right soup, that's for sure.
Agreed.
Yeah, myself, I agree. I think if we close out this season with 4 wins in our last 6 and end up 8-9, or even 5 wins and end up 9-8, that's a great finish. Even if we don't make the playoffs, if we do or don't, doesn't matter. We'll have the momentum going our way. We have 5 early picks in the first 3 rounds. I mean, Holmes has proven he knows who to pick. So, I mean, the future's bright. The future's so bright, we'll have to wear shades.
Well, I just want to say I'm excited to be a Lions fan again. Loving going to watch them or in person and seeing my former teammates on occasion. Look forward to seeing them on Sundays. I think they're heading the right direction. I think they just got to keep it going. And I always felt like this year could have been, basically a 500 team. But I think they could be a 500 team that makes it into the playoffs. And, they're only getting better. They just keep getting better. And I think there's no stopping now. Campbell's got them in the right direction. And it's really exciting for Detroit fans and that team.
I want to thank everybody for coming on. I want to thank Jeff Chadwick for coming on, Will Rock, Wes, Smoking Jeremy.